Hey guys, how's it going? If this is your first time joining us, my name's Matt, and this beautiful green hunk of scrap is my $200 Jeep Cherokee, aka the beater with a heater. If you haven't seen the previous videos, the link's down below. I picked this Jeep up for $200, had a blown motor, but I still managed to drive it into the shop. Picked up another Facebook Marketplace motor for dirt cheap, slapped it in here, and I've been driving it ever since. I've got several hundred miles on this Jeep now. I actually grown quite fond of it. I really like driving this. So I want to make it a little bit nicer to drive, so we got a few little odds and ends we got to fix up today to make this thing a little bit nicer for the daily driving, and a couple little upgrades. So let's get to it. So the two upgrades we're going to be doing today to the old Jeep: LED headlights and a new heavy-duty battery lead wiring harness kit thingy from jeepcables.com. Apparently these XJs are pretty well known for having some subpar electrical leads coming from your batteries, so if you want to run a bunch of auxiliary lights or a winch or something, you can easily smoke your leads. So the guy from jeepcables.com is kind enough to send these over. We'll get those installed. This looks like some seriously well-made, overmade cables for something like size, but more power to you. If you're going to do it, overdo it, right? So these LED lights I got came from, I got them off of Amazon, the 4x4 FLSTC. I don't know if you're supposed to pronounce that or whatever, but they look super easy to install, and they're actually got to be made out of like aluminum or something. They feel pretty stout. I got spoiled. I got a 2018 Wrangler Rubicon, and it's got the LED lights in there that like can see into the future on high beam. So you know, these headlights in the Jeep actually aren't that bad, but LEDs are a lot brighter and use less power. Not that we're worried about power consumption, but the LEDs are a lot brighter. You can see a lot more illumination on the sides of the road and stuff, and that's important so you don't have a deer mess up your pretty front end here. So we'll get those installed, the cables, and I want to fix the other thing that's driving me crazy about this Jeep. So, you know, you just open the door like you're going to get in there. Don't mind the pile of dirt on the floorboard. And you just, you know, just shut the door. Just, oh, what happened? Oh, the door hinges have actually sagged so bad and they're so worn out. I'm lifting the door up almost an inch here, I think. And consequently, your catch doesn't line up with your latch pole. And it's actually busted this door all to pieces here. So as you can see from slamming the door before I got it even, this was already busted when I bought this thing, but the latch is all busted out here. So that's nice and secure, and you got to like lift up on the door to shut it, which is really hard from the inside, especially because there's like screws missing out of the door panel and stuff. So we are going to attempt to piece this thing back together and weld that, I guess, maybe reinforce it a bit with something else. And I also got some hinge bushings that we're going to put in the door to hopefully keep it from doing that again. So there's our bushing kit for the door. Those are from Dorman. Hopefully these work. So to get the hinge pins changed out, we're going to have to go ahead and remove this door. So we got to pull the door panel, disconnect all the wires, and then we should be able to unbolt the door. Come on! Oh! Jiminy Christmas. Yeah, that guy right there. That's all I could do to get that thing out of there. So I wasn't really thinking when I started ripping the door apart. It's easier to disconnect the wires typically right inside your kick plate, and that's what I did. And now the wires will pull back through the body of the car when we disconnect it. Little tip, don't forget about that little thing there. I forget what you call these things, but it's what keeps your door from just swinging around in the breeze. It's got the little spring-loaded detents in it, and it's quite a pain to get the little retention pin back through there. So if you open your door all the way, you're using the door as a lever. Now take a pair of vice grips, lock those on there, and now you can easily just pull this bolt up out of here, theoretically. Yeah, see? It's actually supposed to be a drift pin, but I just stuck the bolt in there because that's what I had. So in this case, it's a T40 Torx. We'll go ahead and take 2 of the upper bolts out first, and then we'll take all the bottom bolts out. Well, I had to get angry with a couple of them bolts. They were really in there. Alright. See that? We just lost a couple of shims out of the lower hinge here. And I think there's one big one on the top hinge. You gotta keep track of where those shims go, otherwise you can be really scratching your head as to why your door doesn't line up again. Alright. Yeah. Okay. So should be able to just pull this baby right away. Uh-huh. Fun part's fishing all these wires through here. Okay. Now we can set our door aside for now. Make sure we whap it off of everything in the process. That's why it's a beater with a heater. Well, when I did the old New Year's burnout contest, I know a lot of you, well, not a lot of you, but some of you guys got pretty angry that I might hurt the old Jeep here. And, I mean, I'm not trying to tear it up, but it's a beater with a heater for a reason. It's something I don't care about as much like one of my nicer vehicles, so I can go have fun with it like that. And if something did happen to it, I'm not going to cry about it, but, you know, I'm not actively trying to destroy it. A little burnout really shouldn't hurt anything. She got some slop. Top one's not as bad, but the bottom one, that's where the action's at. Here's a bit better look at how much slop this thing has in it, which doesn't seem like a whole ton, but when you translate that out across a door that's almost 4 foot long, that's a good bit of slop. We do have some slop in the upper one too, but not nearly as bad. So to get these out of here, we're gonna have to drive this old hinge pin out, and the original ones are spot welded in there. So we're gonna have to grind the top of that guy off of there and then use a punch and drive that down through on both of them. Then the new kit's pretty straightforward. You drive the new pin in. Well, first you put in your new bushing there. Then you drive the pin through those with your spacer, and then this little C-clip goes on the top and retains your hinge pin. Uh-oh. Look at this lucky shot here. Can you guys see down in between the fender there? That is the handle of a Craftsman screwdriver down in there. And I thought I was getting lucky and getting a free screwdriver with my vehicle purchase. And then I'm thinking actually that might be my screwdriver from when I put this engine in. It might have fall down inside that fender and I didn't know it. There we go. You know what? I'm not sure if this is my screwdriver. It's not very rusty, so I don't know that it's been in there very long, but kind of beat up for one of my screwdrivers, and it looks like somebody's put some identifying marks on it, so I'm pretty sure this isn't mine. Freebie! Yay! Still pretty well in there. Get a different punch. This bugger is in here. I'm done playing nice. There we go. Should have done that from the beginning, I think. Man, this thing just ain't giving up, is it? There we go. Holy. That was a fight. Yep. Bushing's actually gone. This hole down here is probably egg-shaped. Yeah, it is egg-shaped pretty good. Now the problem we're going to have is that this bushing, oh, it actually takes up most of the slop in there. Better than I expected. It is still a little bit loose, but not too bad. Now, in a perfect world, you could weld that up and re-drill it, but probably not really worth the time. You know, a lot of manufacturers bolt the hinges to the body and the door, so you could just buy a whole new hinge if it was that wore out. But I guess these guys were cheapening things up and just welded these directly to the body. So a good time while you have the hinge apart to look and make sure none of your welds are ripping or tearing or cracked. These ones look pretty good. There we go. It's a beater, but I'm not trying to beat on it with a hammer. That's what I like to see here. We still have both the top and the bottom bushings in this one, so we know it's not slap wore out like the bottom. There's one. There's two. Yeah, see, they're supposed to tap in like that, unlike the bottom ones here that just kind of fall in. I'm really thinking about welding that bottom hole up and drilling it out to try and get it tight again, but I can't get the right angle with all my drill bits. I'd have to cut this drill bit off, and it's a brand new drill bit. I'd really rather not do that. Let me see if I have a junk one in that size. Well, I started using my noodle, and I remembered I have another cordless drill here that's brushless, and it's a little bit shorter, so I can actually make it fit in there without cutting any of my bits. So I'll drag the welder over here, and we're going to go ahead and buzz that up. I don't want to weld the whole thing solid. I just kind of want to get a pass on the side that's egg-shaped. So you can kind of tell just looking at it, but if you just think about the way the weight's hanging on the hinge all the time and where it rotates, you know that it's going to want to egg shape through this area back here. That's where the wear is going to occur. So we'll just put a quick little small bead around that and then drill right through the top using the upper hole as a guide. And that should help locate our new bushing. So before you go welding on any modern car like this that's got a computer in it, you should always disconnect the battery, or at least that's what they tell me. Be pretty mad you do all this work to something and then go to start it up and the computer's fried. Yeah, it's my luck. Contact. Here's the part where you could snap your wrist. Not really, but tweak it pretty good probably. So when you're trying to drill into something that's not all the way welded up, so you're like already got a pretty good hole started there, the drill bit just kind of wants to grab a hold and suck itself down through, but it's not. It's going to bite about 1/8 of the way into it, and it's going to try and spin the drill on you. So I find best results if you kind of lift up off of it a bit, make sure you're aiming correctly, get that baby humming. Yeah. It's also a good way to break a drill bit. Oh, yep, see? Alright. Looks like it turned out pretty good. You can go ahead and just flatten it off on top and bottom with the grinder, and then we'll stick our bushing in. So this last little bit, you got to drive that pin up into the hinge. Is knurled there, so it kind of presses in almost like a wheel stud. So probably gonna have to get like a C-clamp or something and squeeze that up in there the rest of the way. I have done hinge replacements a couple times like this in the past, and I do not remember it being this difficult. I kind of remember the experience as like a couple hours to do multiple doors. This is turning into a project. Actually bending my C-clamp too. Man. Man. There we go. Still need to go up some more though. Unbelievable. Every time I turn the camera back on, the setup gets a little more janky. Oh. I mean, this thing ain't even thinking about going. Maybe starting to go now. Yeah, I think I moved it a little. Well, that just got absurd. I ended up just taking this piece back off and oversizing the hole where it's supposed to press into. I took it one size over and it still seemed pretty snug. And then I went one more size up and it kind of just slid right in there, which honestly doesn't matter. But, you know, if you run into that problem, just go one size up. So, with that done, should be able to get our door mounted back on here. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see what overhauling our hinges did for us here. Oh, right. So it's still a little low, but there's adjustment in the hinge. I can remove the shim from the top hinge, and that will be some adjustment for us. That should help elevate the door a little more. Right, took that shim out. Give her a shot. Oh yeah, look at that. We're really close. That looks really good. Yeah. Guess we're just gonna go ahead and leave that one out because I like it. Guess all that's left to do now is we're gonna go ahead and try and fix this latch mess up over here. So now that our door's leveled up a lot better, I took a few minutes here and kind of straightened out some of this metal down here. I found a couple little cracks and stuff, hammered this flat, and I put a washer on a bolt that I stole out of the other door here because I was missing a bolt here. So I stole this one out of the other door, put a washer on it, and that sucked the latch tight up against the sheet metal here. And I'm just going to take the old Big Blue hot glue gun and melt that back together real quick. Man, is that stuff thin. Well, I guess that's pretty well welded up. I'm gonna have to put a little countersink action over here because this weld kind of got pulled up a little bit too far to let the bolt sit in all the way. Good as new. Stronger than it ever left the Chrysler factory. Grind down a couple of the little tits sticking up here and then hit it with some paint. Keep her from rotting away on me. But thinking that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and try and shut this door now. Are you kidding me? The very first stinking welding scene I shoot with this camera, and it gets a nice burn right in the center of the camera. Camera was 2 feet away. I had it zoomed in. Ugh. All right. Well, hopefully it shuts. Ready? Oh, look at the alignment. That's like OEM, baby. That thing shuts nice. Body lines aren't off too bad. Nah, she's pretty good. I think we're gonna run with that. Man, that shut nice. Oh, that has been driving me crazy. Driving this car, having to lift up on the door while you're trying to shut it. Oh, miserable. How about this kind of luck? I even scared up, I think, the matching paint color for this Jeep. I remember I bought this paint years ago for a Chrysler car I was working on, so maybe actually the same exact color. Looks really close, definitely good enough for a door jamb. I actually looked it up because I couldn't believe it. Forest green pearl? Forest green pearl. Brand new can too. I bet you I've had this thing kicking around in here for 10 years. Kind of make sure you spray it on there so it runs and oozes into all the little cracks. That'll be perfect. Good enough for your beater with a heater. So the next thing I want to get installed is these beautiful heavy leads that I got here. And that'll replace these rather anemic looking ones from the factory. So a lot of you guys kind of noticed my toolbox setup in the background here. I really like my stickers, and I kind of got them stuck on everything. And buddy over at jeepcables.com sent a pile of stickers, so that was pretty awesome of him. This I like this monkey one. That's pretty cool. I think I'll put that one on the Jeep. Okay, I just got everything pulled out of the kit here for these battery terminals, and I have to say my first impression is that everything is extremely overbuilt, and I'm a big fan of that. And it kind of seems like a mess of cables here at first, and you're kind of thinking, and I'm the first to tell you, I was thinking, oh boy, this is going to take me a few minutes to figure out where all this routes to. But then I started looking, they've got all the heat shrink is labeled. That's awesome. So this end goes to this 150 amp breaker fuse here, not a breaker fuse, just a fusible link. On this side goes to your power distribution box. What's this one? Battery terminal positive, power distribution center. got a firewall ground in here, and that's great because I ripped the braided OEM one when I was putting this engine in and just haven't been using one. So what else? Oh, really heavy duty battery terminal clamps. These are nice. I can't even get these at my local Napa, at least not without special ordering them. These are nice. Supposedly everything in the kit's made in America, at least I'm pretty sure that's what the guy told me, so that's a big bonus to me, being one of them guys. Yeah, I guess let's get ripping and tearing. Get this little ugly fella out of here. Holy crap. Good gravy. Holy smokes. Boy, you think that one was in there good enough, huh? Jeez. I actually just bent the panel it was attached to trying to get it out of it. And it broke. Who didn't see that coming? Son of a diddly. That had a nut welded on the back side and it just busted off of there. I don't know if that showed up on the audio on camera, but the bolt went into the fender, rolled down, and hit like 12 different things like plinko until it hit the ground. That was kind of entertaining. It's the little things in life, you know? Just gotta enjoy them. Alright, there's one little anemic cable out of there. Several to go. Give me the wire. Give it. Alright, starter wire. Gone. Now we get to run the first wire. Oh, it even fits down through the original loom holder. That's a nice sign. We got our alternator wire. I was able to transfer the cover off of the original harness onto the new wire as well. Oh yeah. Probably worth noting that every connection I have put some dielectric grease on the terminals first, run them down, and then put a little bit more over the top just to kind of let that soak in there and keep it from corroding as time goes on. Now it took me a minute to figure this thing out, but this fuse block here, they give you a spare fuse too, so if you're blowing 150 amps you could always pop the 200 amp in there, which seems like an awful lot of amps, but what do I know? Hopefully I'll never have to replace that, but I'll throw that in the glove box just in case. Just got to figure out where to mount the fuse block now. Thinking somewhere about here would be good. And yeah, might have to flip this cable and run it out that side and make it easier to route. But I think that'll look good right there. And then just got to anchor the fender ground back here with some self tappers. And we should be good to put our battery back in and try it out. Yeah, that looks nice, huh? Sturdy. About time we can put our battery back in now. I think this is the first time you guys have ever seen me tighten terminals on this channel. Okay, with our battery all cranked down, just got to get my tools cleaned up here, and I'm excited to see this thing fire up. He's definitely got to be a big upgrade. Okay, moment of truth. Well, that's embarrassing. These XJs, if you leave the battery unplugged for a while, it kind of like flashes the computer and it has to take a second to relearn how to idle. That's why it sounded kind of rough there at the beginning. Otherwise, this thing normally fires up perfect. Idle's really nice. Alright, that's another project scratched off the list. You guys have caught some glimpses in her in some previous videos, but the wife has finally joined in the fun. And I have a challenge for her. I'm going to make her install these headlights because they're pretty simple. Hopefully she can pull that off. I will assist her by getting the headlights at least out for her.
Well, I can do that.
You heard it, people. Let's see it.
I can't see that well. Ah. Oh, I feel old. Am I supposed to have it go the other way now? No? It still go out? Do you want me to get the other one too at the same time?
May as well.
Hold on. I can get the other screw out. Yeah, grab it. Ugh. How did I get to this?
Oh, it could. It might. I don't know what I'm thinking. That might just plug right in. It'd be awful convenient if that just plugged right in. And we can try it. So, plug that guy in there. Just hold that in your hand and I will turn the headlights on and see if you got high and low beam.
So I can see into my soul.
Yeah, I don't recommend staring at it.
I'm not that stupid. It works! But the... Alright.
Is that high beam? I can't tell.
Yeah.
Well, some of you may have known better, but I didn't. I put the housing back together on the light before I stuck it in the grill, thinking that I would be able to reconnect that spring, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to, so I'm going to have to pull the bezel back off of here. The lady did not know either. Alright. Got our housing installed now. Spring is connected. Adjustments are roughed in. We just got to slap the bulb back in it. Right, lady?
Yeah. That's still dirty though.
Yeah, everything's kind of dirty in here. It's garage.
Whatever. I don't need to lube it up again, do I?
Nope, that's good.
Don't understand. I can't see.
You're lined up. Just push.
Ah, there we go.
Which way's the head light go? Other way.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go. Make sure that wire's not getting caught underneath the headlight. No, you're good. Yeah, pretty much.
I got it.
Jam it in there. There you go.
There we go.
Now
Hold on.
It ought to be easier to run the screws down this time too.
Do you want to run? What? I got it. Haha. The bottom ones are really hard to kind of see. Oh, this one's still hard. Ah, shoot. No! I know it's only a headlight, but let me enjoy this moment.
If I had the forethought, I Probably would have swapped those bolts out for Allen head bolts. Much easier to get in and out without stripping in the next round. But hopefully with LED headlights there will never be a next round. They should outlive the vehicle.
I'm not taking these out. I'm not doing that. You can do it. I'm not doing it. Can I take this plastic off now?
Yep, hold on.
Ah!
Camera still saw it. I was going to get the camera in on a close-up. Everybody loves a good peel.
Yeah, we'll do it for the next one. I got the bezel. I didn't know that's what the name was. It snapped. I'm sorry.
Good thing we're not working on an expensive car, huh?
Oh no. It's your car. It doesn't matter.
Really?
What? Yeah, I had it.
No, you don't. It's not in there.
Oh, hold on. You're trying. Why would
See
you?
these tabs?
Yes,
I gotta engage down in these holes.
I did not know that, sir. Go ahead.
See, now you gotta do it. Just gotta hold it.
See?
Hold it there.
I can't.
You gotta do. I do all this stuff one-handed.
Well, that's you. That's not me.
Could be you. Well, I think that snazzed up the front of the old Jeep here pretty good. I think those look pretty different. I like it. Kind of modernized the front end of this thing a little bit. And I'm usually really skeptical about these kind of LED lights. I know for a long time they've been pushing them to like upgrade regular old headlights and something like these older vehicles. They really pushed them as something that were better, but a lot of times the real world results aren't that great. So I took some before and after videos driving down the highway to see what kind of distance and throw we were really getting with the lights. I'm going to back it out here and aim them up against the garage door. That way we can get them adjusted just right. And then we'll take it for a little drive and see what we got, because it is dark outside now. Oh, I keep talking about it, but I can't. It's just so nice to have a door that closes correctly now. Cranks up nice. So here's our stock XJ headlights at night. This is the low beam. Or high beam. Pretty respectable for stock headlights, honestly. High beam, low beam. So here we are now with the new headlights, driving down a similar stretch of road. This is obviously our low beam, and then kabam, high beams. These things didn't disappoint so far. Don't want to blind these people. Definitely a big upgrade. I can see quite a bit further now. And some of that's in your adjustment, but it seemed like the other lights were pretty well adjusted, but these are definitely a lot better. And I kind of like the LED light. It seems to, I don't know, it's easier for me to see things on the side of the road with the LEDs than it is older halogen bulbs. And yeah, they should never really burn out either, or at least should last quite a long time. So yeah, I'll put the links to these things and the cables down in the description if you guys are interested. So upgraded headlights and an electrical system, and that stuff's all well and good. They seem to be doing exactly what they're intended to do and functioning quite well at it. But my favorite improvement, ready? Oh, that is so nice. That was so annoying having to lift up on, jam it in there every time. Oh, it made driving it such a pain. So if you guys like any of the products that you saw in the video, there's links in the description to both of those things. And that's about the last you're going to see of the old XJ for a while. I am moving away from the automotive stuff and hopefully getting to focus back on some more stuff out at the farm and the church. I know everybody's been asking about that. Just been tied up doing other things. So we're going to get back to that and many, many more projects. So if you like the video, don't forget to hit the old thumbs up button. That helps the channel out, helps me keep making cool stuff for you guys. And if you haven't already, you might want to just tickle the old subscribe button down there so you don't miss any future videos. I got a lot of cool stuff coming up for you. So stick around. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Later.